To your asynchronous lesson on your learning how to model part 3, which is a summative for modeling and datas, and it's going to be how we wrap up our space unit. So for this assignment, this assessment, you're going to be given the information that you have found a star with a solar luminosity of 20. This is the only data that I am currently able to give you about my star. And using the model activities that we've done before, you're going to be proposing a predicted value or range for the star's solar mass and whether it's a massive or average star, its absolute magnitude, and its surface temperature. And we're going to be using a fresh copy of our stellar spreadsheet to do this. Now, I've given you some hints and some directions for how to complete your prediction for solar mass, absolute magnitude, and temperature. You're going to want to be thinking about graphing luminosity with your other three variables for your first scatter plots. You're probably going to want to think about sorting, grouping, and getting rid of outliers and outgroups, and also doing things like mode, count, or averages to better understand your data's limitations and strengths. You're probably going to want to add trend lines as well. You might want to graph the three other variables, solar mass with absolute magnitude, solar mass with surface temperature, to make sure that your findings and predictions might make sense when you put all of the pieces together. And for predicting values, you can simply look at where the trend line intersects your x value, so luminosity of 20, and the y value. So you're going to be doing a prediction for solar mass where you're going to be giving a specific value or a small range of data, and to make sure that you back it up with your evidence strengths in your scatter plot here. You're going to tell me why it might make sense given your knowledge of stars. Maybe your star is a low or a high mass star. What does that mean in terms of its solar mass and its prediction? You are going to put any scatter plots right here and any computations like sorting, deleting outliers, or averages in the fourth section. So just a friendly reminder about how to make a graph in a scatter plot. I'm going to go into my stellar spreadsheet and I'm just going to graph luminosity with a data point other than the three that I'm assigning you, so I'm going to go with radius. I'm going to go to insert, I'm going to go to chart. It's going to give me a line chart, so I'm going to quickly go down and change it to a scatter plot. I am going to add an x-axis. I want luminosity on my x-axis. I'm going to remove my series. I'm going to add a series which I want to select as radius. Press OK. Bingo. And then I can do a couple things in order to make this make a little bit more sense. Notice that most of my data is clumped between 0 and a couple thousand, so I might want to delete some of my outliers. The best way I can do that is going Control A, going to Data, go to Sort Range, go to Luminosity, go Z to A. Notice it doesn't change my graph, but it does change where my data is. Maybe I'm going to delete. I'm going to delete these guys from my graph. Suddenly I have a much clearer picture of what my data might look like from solar luminosities of 0 to 150. You're going to want to justify in your computations which outliers you deleted and why you did them. So those first outliers I deleted, I probably could justify by saying that most of them are high mass. But notice there's some ones that are 1.72, 1.6, 2.2 that have much greater luminosities. Maybe some of them, like Beta Ursa Minoris, are let's take a look at it. It's a giant star. So it's a star that's not like our sun, so maybe I'm going to delete stars based on their classifications and traits, which I can explain in my graph. Remember, you can go to customize, go to series, you can add a trend line, and you can show R squared. And for now, you would probably want to just estimate roughly where your data point intersected the x and y axis to make a prediction for your data points. Remember, r squared is a value between 0 and 1, 1 being strong, and 0 being very weak. So I hope that helps with your assessment. I'm going to say that you should start this today and then come into class tomorrow ready to finish it, but with questions and concerns that you need help from me. Please email me today if you need any help, and I will see you tomorrow.